harvest of victories in the United States midterm elections fill the air as Nigerians sweep the polls. And back home, the Nigerian parliament decries poor budgetary provisions for the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, insisting on changing the narrative. Plus, on the Diaspora Health segment with the Association of Nigerian American Physicians in the Americas, ANPA. This is your favorite show, The Diaspora, and I am your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Please stay. Welcome back. And now let's begin with the US midterm elections with this video preceding the victories.
Hi, I'm Phil Olalier, Representative-elect for State House District 59, and I'm running to restore the same belief that brought my father to this country and to the state of Georgia more than 3 decades ago. The belief that despite the odds and hardships, you can create a better life for yourself, your family, and our communities.
My name is Solomon Adesanya. I am running for Georgia House of Representatives, District 43. My story begins with my father, who came to the United States from Nigeria in 1971. He saw light, hope, and a belief in the American dream. And I can confirm to you today that anything you set your heart and mind to, you can achieve it. That's the promise of America. So get out, stay engaged, stay involved. Thank you.
Hello everyone. This is Gail Bokoye, incoming representative for District 102 in Georgia. I am running to make sure that our voting rights are protected, the right of our girl children to make their choice is protected, and the right of our children to go to school and come back alive is protected.
My name is Tish Nagisi, and I'm running to be your state representative in House District 68. My husband and I have been married for 33 years. He came from Nigeria in 1987 in search of democracy. And now our democracy is under attack. How you can help us is getting out there to vote. Your vote is your voice.
Hi, I'm Shagun Adena, and I'm running for House District 110. I'm running because I know education is a solution for Georgia. So our kids can be competitive, our public schools are fully funded, our teachers are well paid. As we know, education makes a difference. Our education matters.
We are one Georgia.
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 You've heard the candidates. Now, we're urging the African diaspora to show up at the polls in record numbers and vote. Your vote is your voice. We are one Georgia.
In the meantime, the chairman CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa, has applauded the victory achieved by Nigerians that won major seats in the just concluded elections in the United States. The NIDCOM boss was elated by this development and congratulates each of them for their victories. Dabiri Erewa noted with nostalgia that these Nigerians have brought not only fame to themselves, but have used their God-given talents, skills, hard work, and resilient spirit to shore up the image of the country. The feat has shown their leadership prowess and ability to succeed. The Nigerian Americans who won major district representative seats are Shagun Adena, won for Georgia State Representative in District 110. Gabe Okoye also won for the Georgia State Representative in District 102. Others are Solomon Adesanya, Georgia State Representative District 43. Tish Nagishe, Georgia State Representative District 68. Phil Olaleye, Georgia State Representative District 59. Carol Kazim, Pennsylvania State Representative District 159. Similarly, the duo of Dr. Oye Owolewa and Esther Agbaje were re-elected, while Dr. Oye Owolewa got re-elected to the U.S. House of Representatives Shadow Representative in Washington, D.C., Esther Agbaje won her seat for Minnesota State Representative in District 59B. The elated NIDCOM boss congratulated them, wishing them more wisdom and knowledge in the discharge of their duties. She also congratulated NAPAC, Nigerian American Public Affairs Committee, a diaspora professional organization in the U.S. that collectively mobilizes support for Nigerian Americans involved in politics and public service in the U.S. Congratulations to you all, and keep making Nigeria proud. We love you and will keep celebrating you. Let's take a quick break with Boya Linko leading us.
Ha! Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures. Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down. Do you have a job where you're going to? No, but someone is arranging, Listen, Alinko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
If you must travel, travel legitimately. Now, the Senate Committee on Diaspora and Non-Governmental Organizations on Oversight has questioned the rationale while vital a very important agency like the Diaspora Commission is underfunded, given the enormity of its activities, especially responding to emergencies of Nigerians in the diaspora.
Yeah, I've studied a lot now on Diaspora Commission, and I've come to in this particular period we are, all we are talking is about budgets. How did your last budget performed? And so, even the last time you came, she mentioned some areas that are making people not to really act as a commission at some areas. If there's any area, we must use our own position to help, will definitely help. Because, Madam Chairman, from now I know we are working here as one body, not different bodies. But diaspora is not just meant for you people, it's for Nigerians. Yes. It means that the commission itself is a big country of its own. So we should look at it as a country. Yeah. Not even what I mean. If we all have 159 countries, that means you are there. So you are a nation. So we have to work with you people to make it realistic. For instance, one of the areas you people are not mentioning to people, very soon with your office, this medical trip is going to stop. If you can't stop, it will reduce. Because in Abuja now we have some hospitals that are superlatively equipped, that people may not even go out again. So, whatever is the case, we'll be there for you people. Just like we are saying, we should be there for my members. That's all. We thank you people for the effort, and with our existence, there must be a change in this 2023 budget.
The fact that we have a diaspora commission, the fact that you are doing well, the fact that you've projected yourself out there puts you in a very precarious situation. Nigerians being what they are, if they get into trouble, if something happens out there, instead of going to the embassy, they say diaspora commission, look for Advocate Every's phone number or Twitter and start, shouting here and there. So we know the kind of pressure you're under, but certainly I think if you are better positioned, we'll probably see a doubling or even tripling of the kind of work we see going on in your commission. Nigerians have, like I said, they probably have twice as much Nigerians as the official figures show. And the good thing about Nigerians in diaspora is that despite all the negative things, all the bad eggs that criminal, the quality of our diasporans is probably the best in the world.
It is.
You know, yeah. In terms of whatever.
We should be supporting and saying, you know, this is the value we're adding, and that's why we want to work with you and hope that the initiatives we're coming up with, which you have given us ideas about, will work. And we've also, I think we've sent to you the proposed amendment to the bill that we are hoping. Just very few amendments, yes. Which hopefully, if we can get through, can solve. Because when the bill was being worked on, nobody was thinking about, you know, all that. But that's what bills are there. And to also add that, as Dr. Bassi said, 5 African countries have come here to learn about how we're engaging our diaspora. Kenya's president has just set up a ministry for the diaspora, and it's instructive that they came here first. And the guy we're working with, someone Kenya diaspora, and I came here and we had a conversation. And then in December, the OACPS are having their own diaspora program, and they've invited us to be the diaspora champion. So really, if we keep at it, I was invited to Uganda to speak to them when they were sending away their migrants, and they invited us and said, in Nigeria, you've set the pace. So we hope that we'll sustain and build on the little that we'll be able to do with your support.
We are scattered in almost like 5 different places presently. The chairman's office is here. My office is about 5 minutes walk from here. Some staff are on the ground floor here. And I think about 70% of our staff are in Asokoro, in some residential buildings that EFCC provided for us. I'm just underscoring the fact that we need a diaspora plaza. And like you've heard, Mr. President has given directives on what should be done. That directive, I think, has been repeated 3 times by Mr. President over the past 4 years. We are still waiting, and I'm sure by the time you bring your weight to bear on it, by the grace of God, we will be in a place where the diaspora can be proud of the commission dealing with it.
The same scenario played out when the Commission appeared before the Senate Committee on Diaspora and Non-Governmental Organizations for Budget Defense.
Do us a letter requesting for any side we can come up to do something, so that it will be our weapon to say, look, these are the predicaments of these people. In the first instance, I cannot see a government agency. The headquarters is in Federal Secretariat. The other staff are in Asokoro. Some are in Metama. It doesn't give any. So I think making sure at least your workers are under one roof should be one of the things we have to look at, because it will enhance your performance. 2, all the equipment you need internally, by now you should have had a laboratory, software laboratory, that where you touch, you will say, in Italy we have this happening today. Then you touch again, you now say, oh, Holland, this thing is happening. We'll look at your budget and see what we can do before we defend it in appropriation committee. Thank God I'm a member of appropriation committee. When it comes, it's still coming back to my committee, the other side. So we'll do something.
But if you have the funding, we'll be able to give you a room where, like you said, with the touch of a button, we can tell you where Nigerians are, and then we can reach them directly. But again, if we're able to amend the bill with Parliament for amendment, I think that would also help, because we also believe that we really shouldn't be struggling for funds from government. We can generate funds. So if the law is amended, I think we can think outside the box and look at other ways. But what I can just say is that we are not going to relent. We're going to continue to put in our best, because we're talking about human capital development. And talking about JAPA now, whether we like it or not, it's the trending news. You can't stop migration, but we can help reduce irregular migration by raising more awareness. The little we've been able to do with those who came back, you have people telling us that we'll never do that again. So they become ambassadors to tell others that it's not worth it. Those who came from Dubai 2 weeks ago will tell you that it's not rosy out there. So how do you encourage regular migration and discourage those ones that are being tricked into going to these places? So I think, again, that's what we've been doing despite, the lack of funding, but it's about human beings, about people, it's about saving lives. So we'll continue to do that. Under your chairmanship, sir, I hope we will get that kind of support that we'll be looking for, and I know it will happen. And again, it's important to work with you. We talked about it, and I want to stress this, even the issue of going to prisons. We had gone once with the Senate committee, and it worked. It's very effective. It's really very effective. So if we have a little extra funding, those are things that we should focus on. You can save one person. We've saved some that, it was just because they were on bail. They couldn't pay their bill. So really, we hope that we can do more with you. Count on your advice and leadership so that we can work better as a commission.
This agency is critical to this country. We have a lot of our citizens who are outside. As a committee, we've handled a lot of time. We have to call the agency when Nigerians are jailed abroad, when they are arrested indiscriminately. Most times it's this agency that is called upon. Even where we have consulate and so on, it's the agency that have to be. This agency does not have staff outside the country. They have to still walk through other means to do this. For them to be able to do this, the overhead is not enough to be able to meet up with that. And at the end of the day, it's the government and we that were elected representatives that will be blamed that, see how they are treating us, we are citizens of this country, we are not getting our right. Every citizen of Nigeria has a right anywhere in the world to be able to live normally. So therefore, Mr. Chairman, as we normally do every year, I think we have to make a case to appropriation to improve and increase the budget allocation, both overhead and capital.
Well, we're actually encouraged by our defense with the Senate committee. I mean, when you hear such encouraging words in terms of what you've been doing, despite very limited resources, is quite encouraging. And we're counting on the Nigerian Senate to help us a bit. I mean, we're talking about a whole lot of things that have to do with the diaspora. Even this Japa syndrome and everything, there should be massive awareness on that. And even the Senate committee even told us ourselves, the agency needs better funding. I mean, it's probably one of the most poorly funded. And if we have the relevant laws amended, we can also think outside the box. If we are empowered, to generate, we can. So I'm glad that the Senate is doing that. But you know what? We are not going to relent in our work in the agency. Our budget is getting smaller, but we're going to work harder to ensure that we continue to do what we have to do, because we're talking about human capital development. We're talking about, and now diaspora is on the front burner. You can't say anything without the diaspora, and we cannot ignore them. So we'll continue to count on the support of the Parliament, particularly in budgetary allocation.
NIDCOM's budget defense with the House Committee on Diaspora Affairs also elicited questions on poor funding of the Commission, given the daily complaints by Nigerians in diaspora of maltreatment and harassment.
Because there's a limit to what we will do within our own limit of our laws. If we had it in our laws to even do labor things and be the ones, we will do it, but we don't have the powers to. So, Madam Chairman, you as Parliament can embark on this multi-agency collaboration. You can call everybody and hit the gavel.
Really? We will revert to that again, because we have been doing that.
When these girls come back, all the expresses, we regret, we shouldn't have gone. Because the traffickers are making money, and they go there, and in UAE in particular now, don't even go. If you go, there are no jobs, then you're going to come back with nothing. And that is our message, is that in cases where we have a few bad, let us also accept and talk to our people that let us all behave properly. That's Mr. President's #1 message, be good ambassadors. So what I'm saying is, you and us, we need to spread more of that awareness, that don't let the bad affect the good.
Yeah, on the issue of budget, NIDCOM basically is underfunded. What are you doing about that?
We have lobbied, we have made a case for it. It has not happened. We pray it will happen. If making it happen was left to me and her, it would have been done already. But we can only implore the people who make the decision, the appropriation committees, and the leadership of the House to see how they can make an improvement in this area.
Yes, just a fortnight ago, 8 Nigerians were elected in midterm elections in the United States, and 2 were returned, making a total of 10. That's glassing your head, I suppose.
Yeah, very exciting news coming from Nigerians in the diaspora, and that's what we keep encouraging. If are those 8 Nigerians, you know that they actually put themselves on the video and said, we are Nigerian Americans, and we wish ourselves success, and they won. And so that's very exciting. So Nigerians are great all over the world. While we have a few not doing so great, we are the best in the world. But what we keep saying as the Mr. President is, be good ambassadors wherever you find yourselves, and just put in the best, because as we're celebrating them, we're celebrating ourselves. So when you do bad too, we have to let you know that what you're doing is not right and doesn't represent all of us. And as Madam Chairman said, the issue of diaspora voting is not something we can run away from. It's going to happen. And it will happen. It has to happen. You can run away from it. And the issue of irregular migration, again, I think it would be easier if it's stopped from here. How do you stop people from going and getting into trouble? You're living here to look for a job, but you get there, you don't get the jobs anyway. And then you come back worse than you left. So I think that involves stronger multi-sector collaboration, which I'm sure the Parliament can actually drive.
Now to our health segment with ANPA's foremost surgeon. Please take a listen.
I see AMPA contributing to healthcare in Nigeria in many ways, and we'll be doing it for many years through our yearly AMPA week. Today's topic on our health tip will be on cancer prevention and early detection. Number 1 is tobacco. Tobacco is actually the leading cause of cancer death and also non-cancer preventable death worldwide. So it's a big deal. So the best thing to do is don't start smoking at all, because the nicotine is very addicting. And if you do smoke, the best thing you can do is to quit. Number 2, alcohol. Limit alcohol intake to minimize cancer risk. And for men, it's generally recommended that you don't drink more than 2 alcoholic drinks a day. And for women, no more than 1 drink a day. Excess weight. Too much weight is not only high risk for cancer, it's also high risk for obesity and diabetes, high blood pressure, etc. 4th thing is our diet. It's better that we eat less meat, so less beef, less pork, and we eat more plant-based diet, so more vegetables, more salad, even more nuts, fruits. Those are very good for our system. The 5th preventive measure to prevent cancer is to move. We move more. The more active you are, the better. Sitting down is not good. I'm sitting to do this video. However, I try and move as much as I can. So exercise or physical activity, walking, and less sitting is actually helpful to prevent a lot of cancers. Vaccination, because some cancers are caused by some viruses, specifically the human papilloma virus or HPV, can cause cervical cancer in women, as well as oral or anal cancers in both men and women. So there are some new vaccines that are out there that we can give even to people, to our young children or young adolescents. That way can prevent them from getting these cancers.
Many thanks, Doctor, for the health tips. It has been nice having you enjoy the show as it lasted. Do stick around next week for more stories. I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Bye for now.